I love Age of Empires 2, and firmly believe, with a very heavy bias, that it is the greatest game of all time. For a game that came out in 1999 to be where it is today really says it all, and I'm super lucky to have so many of you who enjoy this game with me. It's also worth mentioning that the version that most play now, the AoE2 Definitive Edition, is by far the best version of the game that we've ever seen. Since its release in 2019, and despite many early months of what we'll call growing pains, AoE2 fans are lucky to be where we're at today, regardless of how you enjoy the game. In mid 2021, there were a lot of rumblings about AoE4, and Microsoft understandably were very active in promoting it and teasing it, all pretty expected for a new game within a successful franchise. And I then began to get a lot of questions of what would happen to AoE2? How would this affect AoE2? This did not extend just to my viewers, but also players too, all the way up to the top level. And the longer time passed, I too became kind of concerned on how quiet things were, and my concerns grew for many months in the build up to AoE4's release, and have kind of stuck with me past its release. But thankfully, we had a big patch for AoE2 in November of 2021. In dedication to Definitive Edition's second anniversary, a lot was brought into the game, like the in-game tech tree, player handicap system, regional trade card skins, and a few other things. It was a great sign that AoE2 was still being prioritized, and AoE2 fans welcomed it with open arms because, well, we were concerned. Not only about the longevity of the game, but the health of our esports scene, which gained its foothold before the Definitive Edition and really blossomed after the release, with massive contributions from Microsoft being a key part to that. Well, it seems that they were aware we were concerned, because at the conclusion of the patch notes, there was this paragraph. With last month's amazing launch of Age of Empires 4, we know our players are curious about what this means for Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Will we abandon our longest enduring classic RTS to focus on our new release? No way! While we're thrilled for everything coming for Age of Empires 4, we're happy to reassure our Age 2 players that the excitement around Age 4 means more for you and not less. We're planning to support Age of Empires 2 DE for a long time, and will soon be able to share an exciting roadmap with some genuinely awesome reveals coming in the months ahead. Stay tuned, and whoa. Upon seeing this, I remember telling my audience how awesome it was. Yeah, they were pretty quiet about things and left us worried for a while, but they clearly recognized that AoE2 fans wanted to continue moving forward and seeing the community thrive. This had a positive effect because many who are concerned or maybe spending their time discussing all their frustrations on forums were able to relax and say, well, you know what? We've been heard and they're going to show us a plan for the future. It feels great to be listened to. Well, my friends, that was almost 6 months ago. We have yet to see a roadmap. Now, it's fair to say I don't know how involved this roadmap is going to be. This could be the most extravagant, detailed, mind-blowing roadmap the gaming industry has ever seen. Or, just maybe, they saw how frustrated people were at the time and knew what way to ease our concerns, while having no real intention of following through on their words. Maybe that's a bit cynical, and truthfully, I don't believe it with the tone that I presented that with, but the reason I'm making this video is not just because of the roadmap, it's because I want to read messages like that and believe it. I'm not even saying I don't fully believe it right now. I'm going to have a lot of exciting things to talk to you guys about in the future. But I'm merely pointing out that in a time of weakness and worry for AoE2, it kind of said what would make us feel warm and fuzzy inside, and then didn't follow through.
Full input remapping is absolutely on the list. It's one of the highest priority things that we're looking at doing.
Oh, my bad. That was an AoE4 thing. That's a whole nother conversation. I feel so incredibly uncomfortable making this video. You have no idea. I don't want to be making this, but I feel it's important. There's amazing things coming for Age of Empires 2. I'm sure there are. But I just want to believe and get excited about things when we hear from them from official forums. So, seeing as we didn't receive an official roadmap from Microsoft, I decided to go with the next best thing. I called my nephew and asked him if he could draw me one. Now, if I do know things, I obviously can't share them, but I'm going to give you a guesstimate based on my nephew's roadmap of what is to come for Age of Empires 2. All right, so here we are, April of 2022. Our starting point is at the top left here. If you follow along, there is a very scary sock-looking monster creature. Now, I don't know for sure, but there have been some things in the Steam database. There's been a lot of conversation on the subreddit that maybe this is a DLC. I don't know when exactly that's going to come. I think that's awesome. But usually when they introduce civilizations, there's massive balance issues, and usually they're a bit more OP. People make a lot of pay-to-win jokes, and then after a few months, they're nerfed. So we're going to call this monster the new DLC. This is not saying the new DLC won't be fun, but I'm just saying, yeah, maybe expect it to be overpowered, kind of like a monster. Right after the DLC, you could see the right-hand turn, and followed by another right-hand turn. My guess is these are going to be hot fixes. Normally, after new civs are brought in, there could be some issues because Age of Empires 2 has spaghetti code. Expect hot fixes because maybe units will pass through walls. Maybe there'll be some performance issues. And then we're going to have a few more turns. The weird volcano thing in the middle that kind of looks like it's shooting a small turd out, I think that's supposed to be smoke, to be honest. That is maybe going to be another patch. Maybe another patch where they say that they're aware that the team game elo system is broken and they're aware of it and they're taking feedback. Further down the line, we're going to call this next thing a tournament, a massive, massive tournament. I think that'd be really cool. However, it's apparently a monster. So in this case, consider a monster good. I'm hoping that's a big event. Lots of cool excitement for the players, lots of prize pool to fight for, lots of fun stuff to cast for me. I like it. This is where my nephew really went crazy here. You've got a big right-hand turn again, and then you go further down across, kind of back to where we started. And it even goes off the page. That's concerning. I think, yeah, that's when there's server maintenance. Yes, you can't play the game online for a couple hours because of server maintenance, which is why the path goes off the page and then comes back on. I don't know if there's like a whole nother page I'm supposed to have, and it continues on to our end point, which, well, we don't want there to be an end point. We want there to be updates. We want there to be consistent things for this game. And we just want some communication. That's it. Just communicate, please. This video got a bit dark, a bit in your face, and I really do apologize for that. I hope that Microsoft is not currently burning down the bridge that is between myself and them. I simply am trying to talk about how we can improve the game. And I should say that the communication is actually overall quite good. It's just that for Age of Empires 2 fans, that kind of felt like a slap in the face. This is my life, and I spend every waking moment on this game, and so maybe for the average viewer or the average gamer, this wasn't as big a concern. Maybe this is just a T90 thing, and maybe I'm being too involved. But I want improvements for the game, and I want consistent communication, and the communication in general is really, really good, and I have great interactions with people behind the scenes. I just want the rest of the community to benefit from that as well. Now, I get that they might not be able to come out and say right now, like, hey, there's going to be a DLC, and we're going to have some new exciting civilizations or maybe campaigns. I get that. And so maybe that's what held them back from making the roadmap. The thing that I want to sum this video up with, though, is that new DLCs is not just what we want for this game. The lobby system needs to be improved. The team game matchmaking is regularly seen as a joke, so much so that people are changing their names to mock it. There's a lot of things that this game could still use and still benefit from. So I guess to sum it up, yes DLC, yes communication, and yes to improvements for the actual game. I, as a caster, have a habit of talking a lot about things, and in this video is a great example of how I'm very opinionated and could speak my mind on an issue. I think something that I could do better at as a creator is actually putting these thoughts into more constructive formats. So I think I'm going to do more videos like this in the future on things that I think would benefit the community, but I'm also going to make sure I send it to Microsoft and send it to the devs in a more constructive format. I think Spec Chat is probably the best example. I basically whined, complained, and sent out Discord messages for 2 years because we couldn't see people talk in game. And it did happen after 2 years, and I'm really grateful we have that. I hope that for any dev that listens to this, for anyone who is involved in the communication aspect, I hope you understand that I want the best for the game, and I fully believe that you do as well. It's just that when something is said and not followed through at such a dire time, and a time where people are worried and concerned, it really does leave a sour taste in my mouth. I absolutely love Age of Empires 2 DE. There's so many good things about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be making videos where I talk about some of the awesome things that are in our game, that they brought to our game, that you might not have heard of or you might not have tried yet. That's going to be coming to the content. But I'm also going to be making videos where I talk about things that need to be addressed, whether it's a bug or issue, or things that I think would benefit if we were to add improvements. You probably already know that I upload one video a day, and that's at minimum. We try and keep the variety crazy, like low elo legends, community games, and high elo casts. But this does mean a lot to me. And so if you guys like these videos and are liking the video and are commenting and letting me know that this is something you maybe want to see more of or you think is better for the game, I will work hard. We will work hard to get more content out like this. So that's pretty much it for this roadmap video. I hope you guys enjoyed my nephew's drawing. I hope my sister doesn't show him this recording because I'm pretty sure I called one of his designs a flaming turd or something. I didn't mean that. It is clearly a monster, and it is the best monster I've ever seen. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for the positivity, and let's push Age of Empires 2 forward. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.